Hi, everyone. This is Leah Klein, Health and Wholeness Coach. And today, my question for you is the ground under you feeling a little rough? Our verse is Isaiah 42:16. And I will lead the blind in a way that they do not know. In paths that they have not known, I will guide them. I will turn the darkness before them into light, the rough places into level ground. These are the things I do, and I do not forsake them. So, is it feeling a little rough? Does it feel like you're on a four-wheeled road in a Jeep? God promises to lead and to light our way. He also promises to turn some of those rough places into level ground. And it doesn't mean that everything will miraculously, get turned around in a completely opposite way. It sometimes is that what feels really rough to you right now, you will make peace with, and you will learn to accept, where you are at the moment as being from God, and that God has something for you to learn from it. At which point, that rough place doesn't seem as rough. And it is a place that we all could aspire to. It's not always easy to get there, admittedly. Most of the time, it's easier to fight the situation we're in. It's more natural, let's put it that way, to fight it and rebel against it. And unfortunately, most of the situations do not actually improve when we do that. They actually stay rocky and rough until we actually accept that this is where we're at in this particular moment, and let God have his way. He'll get it anyway, but we can do it kicking and screaming, or we can just accept it and let him have his way, and our well-being will be much better if we do. So the second part of what he is promising is he also promises not to forsake us. He is always there, and that is a promise that we can hang on to, and especially in those rough places that may not go away right away, and to know that no matter how rough it seems, God is still shining his light around you, and he is still not forsaking you and is with you no matter what the situation. He is still there, even when things do not go according to plan, which would be the picture of the last month and a half of my life. Is, as my mom broke her femur in April and has not been able to go upstairs. So anything had to be done upstairs. I have to do anything, cooking and all that type of things, anything involving going outside to the yard, the garden, trying to get things going on that is pretty much fallen on me. And which was not exactly something I was anticipating. So you never anticipate these things. So So I am speaking from experience when I say that sometimes life gets crappy and sometimes things are more difficult and you have more things that you're doing and more things to stay on top of. And this is the point at which you go back to, God is still with me. God has not forsaken me. And I want to encourage you today to ask God to lead you and light your way today. And of course, one of the best things you can do when things are rough is go on a personal retreat. When things are, topsy-turvy and you need to really get that realization that God really is with you. He has not forsaken you. One of the best ways I've found of doing that is to go on a retreat. Spend time one-on-one with him in his creation, away from the noise and technology of daily life. And if you want to come on a guided in-person retreat, we actually have one coming up July 14th through the 16th here in Pinedale, Arizona. And there will be a brochure in the notes under the video or somewhere on the Facebook page. So check out the brochure and connect with me to have a conversation and see if this is a good fit for you right now. If this is your situation where you've got stuff going on and you're really needing to reconnect with him and feel his presence, I do encourage you to connect with me, check out that brochure, learn more about the retreat, and actually, reserve your spot and come and spend a few days in July with me and just a few other people. It's only a few people, so let me know if you really want to come. And to wrap up our time, I wanted to end with He Leadeth Me. And if you know this, feel free to sing along. If you don't, feel free to just listen. He leadeth me, O blessed thought, O words with heavenly comfort fraught. Whate'er I do, where'er I be, still 'tis God's hand that leadeth me. He leadeth me, by his own hand he leadeth me. His faithful follower I would be, for by his hand he leadeth me. Sometimes mid scenes of deepest gloom, sometimes where Eden's flowers bloom, by waters calm or troubled sea, still 'tis God's hand that leadeth me. He leadeth me, by his own hand he leadeth me. His faithful follower I would be, for by his hand he leadeth me. And I will see you next week with another verse. See you then.